This is the way I used to play back when I had that nutty Tracer aim and McCree aim, so I've returned to that. I've gone to my old mouse. It's like an old one. And now he's going to try and bring it back. So we're looking for vintage Shawfall here in this match as the Los Angeles Gladiators start on defense.
That Shock will be on offense, and you'll have Baby Bay playing the Widowmaker. So he's really been the player on the San Francisco Shock. They've been dedicating a lot of resources, making sure he can go off, helping him put up some crazy highlights like we normally see. I feel like Dante is a player. We're waiting for a breakout series for him. Primarily he'll be playing Tracer.
I've given him player the day before, and he did have a good performance in that occasion. But again, consistency is key for a team like San Francisco. Have struggled to attain those big results so far throughout the season. Baby Bay's put to sleep. He's woken up though, and he's protected from subsequent damage by Nevix putting that defense matrix out in front. But he's playing so close. This is very risky and very cocky positioning. We expect no less from Baby Bay, but Shawfall is going to punish that kind of approach.
And it's important they do put a lot of pressure on Baby Bay when you're running the Ana. Shaz is a pretty easy target. Not a lot of mobility on Ana. Doesn't have Baby Bay to land ball shots. She does have a really odd hitbox, right? I mean, a lot of you guys, when you play at home, like sometimes like I'm hitting her head, and you're just not landing those shots at all.
Oh,
Asher with a pulse bomb there takes out Sleepy at the beginning of this next fight. So we'll see if San Fran tries to turn this into anything.
Oh, Nevix, no! He drops out.
Uses this Valkyr.
Remix knocks him over the edge, and Nevix had already just used his rocket boosters, so he goes down. The problem for San Francisco is they were using Nevix to protect Baby Bay for most of that period of time, putting the defense matrix in front of him, but Remix isn't done just yet. Now he goes into the primal rage to pressure down, and Baby Bay has to get resurrected for the second time in a row. San Francisco clearly want to play a King of the Hill setup around Baby Bay and try and use it to get picks, but they're not happening. And so the San Francisco Shock aren't advancing.
Well, let's see if the San Francisco Shock can kind of force some action on the high ground and then get Baby Bay a different angle, because that bottom left angle really not working for him. And Nomi and Dante, they'll try and push in, get underneath the bridge, but when we say get a different angle for Baby Bay, Sureforce changed up his angle as well.
Now Shawfall realizes he was being chased there by a primal range Nomi. That's why he was running away from. Nomi's now back out on the point. And the Shock are creating a lot of discord over the battlefield in general, but they're not really capturing the point. Remix gets resurrected, so now the Gladiators have their Winston back, and Nomi's down. Shazza's got a lot of room to work. He sees a self-destruct coming in over the top, and now comes back into the fight. There's going to be a Transcendence thrown in here for Sleepy, but again, the Shock have gone through a lot of those ultimates. They're still missing that main engage tool. Nevix gets desuited, and Shawfall has a lot of space here just to get free damage. That's the pick though. Sleepy had to find Shawfall, and he did.
Yeah, he used your Transcendence for the San Francisco Shock to get back in position to res Nomi back up. It'll be Remix here, getting the effects of the Nano Boost, trying to take out these supports. Now going to use the Primal Rage in this close corridor. The San Francisco Shock have already gotten one tick on the point. It's going to have to work all the way back towards it.
Baby Bay gets jumped on by Remix there. But the problem is Remix was busy trying to zone out two supports. It hasn't helped though. It didn't matter. The rest of the Shock were in position to work this point down. And finally, over what seemed like years, a war of attrition here for the San Francisco Shock pays off, and they're on the road.
And the Shock were able to get Dak onto the point with that Transcendence, and he was able to resurrect Nomi during it. And I believe Shaz actually hits a Biotic Grenade. Maybe they thought it connected with a few more people. It only actually hits Nevix, and he gets, the anti-heal effects from that Ana Grenade, and then everybody else from the Gladiators jumped on in to try and maybe kill Dak when he's going for that res. He gets the res off, then everybody at the Shock is in full strength. You have that Transcendence still going on for the Shock, helps him win that fight.
We can see that at this stage. Remix has no choice but to jump on Baby Bay. If you let the attacking Widowmaker set up, it can make it very hard for the defenders to get in position unscathed in general. Dante's lucky there. Pulsepom could have claimed his life. That one does go off, but Baby Bay's fallen off camera, and Dante just turns around. He sees a Mercy just begging to be shot. He'll definitely take that opportunity now. The Gladiators down a couple of players, make that even more because Sleepy and Dante are waking up. He's forced to recall out, but he comes back with a decent amount of HP. And the Shock have started off well. Just having the Widowmaker there for Baby Bay seemed to put the LA Gladiators in a weird position setting up.
And the Shock will have Primal Rage and both support ults coming into this next fight. It's just whether the Gladiators try and challenge this or not. And I was actually going to point out, Sureforce was playing the McCree there, but I'd really like to see them just go that full dive and put a lot of pressure on Baby Bay in the back. Now he switches over to Genji, you're going to be able to do that.
Baby Bay in position again, and this is where it happens. Remix, his head is taking clear off, and Baby Bay's just taking little chunks out of everybody. Asher, for 1 second, unfortunately, was not in motion. That was enough for Baby Bay to find him, and now once again, a position where Widowmaker is dangerous. Baby Bay surges ahead, tries to find some open sight lines to pick off the Gladiators as they try and spawn back in. Aggressive play, no doubt about it from this man.
Yeah, it looked like the Gladiators were actually going to go try and contest the payload. Remix jumps in, the infrared sight's then used by Baby Bay, and nobody else wants to follow it up. They knew that Baby Bay had that vision, Gonna line up the headshots, knock him down. The guy's so good on the Widowmaker. Now the Shock still at both support ults. It's going to be Bishu leading the way here with a self-destruct. Forces BB into that small room with Asher. Asher able to win that 1v1 pretty easy.
Nomi with the primal rage here. His first target was Shawfor, who didn't last very long at all. Big Goose was able to bring the Genji back, but Shawfor's still stuck in the room with Nomi. That doesn't really fix the core issue. He does switch strike out, and now Nomi's set up on the payload, but he knows his backline's getting jumped on. Sleeper responds. Instead of going down, he popped the Transcendence. Nomi's going to sit inside that, benefit from the healing. Now try and pressure back onto Remix, but Remix himself has a primal range, and now the Sanfransico supports are being threatened. Nomi's going to try and get healed, but Dak is also copying. Remix is making life hard for the Shock to set up.
And the Gladiators are going to have this great Transcendence Dragon Blade combination. As soon as the push comes in for the Sanfransico Shock, the Gladiators going to be able to use these two ultimates. Just cut on through. There's the Transcendence. Here comes the Blade.
There it is. Baby makes the first one, but he felled, and he's looking for a mercy. Oh, 2 for 1. That's value city for sure for Nomi and Dak fall. And it is so strange that we see a Widowmaker play for so long on the attack on this map, Matt. You see Baby finally making a switch.
Well, yeah, I mean, they weren't stopped, right? So there's no real reason to change things up. Surefour going back to the spawn. I wonder if he changes after using the blade. Yeah, he goes over to McCree.
Is he reading into this switch? Did he
I think you know at this point, you've done a nice job of shutting Baby Bay down. This is not a great spot to use Widowmaker. I think you expect a switch to come on through.
Still smart that he read into that one. Pulse bomb dropped in though. Won't be lethal. Bishu takes a lot of damage, and I'm pretty sure Remix also copped it. So good value for Dunta there. Making the tanks just respect him a little bit more, but the self-destruct claimed Nomi. Dunta's work in chunking down enemy tanks was pretty much erased and outdone until Dax brought him back into the fight.
Nomi dies around the corner to that self-destruct. Dante's still trying to work here. Maybe he lands another one of those bombs. Never mind, Asher comes right into the staircase, dominates him, and now the Shock have been put in a really tough spot here, Mitch. They have not gone through this underpass. This is where you see a lot of teams get stopped on this map. The Gladiators will have both their support ults. The Shock have pretty much everything here outside of your self-destruct. They're going to get this pulse bomb rather quickly. As you see a flashbang miss there from Baby Bay onto Asher. They're trying to catch him out.
So aggressive. Asher finally goes down, but it was from Sleepy. Baby Bay wanted it though. You could see he really was getting in there. Going to be a primal rage for Remix, and to see the rest of the Shock just trying to clear out of these close quarters. Deadeye coming through there. That was from Shawfor. Baby Bay forced to get out, but Nevix and Dak. A cut down by that Deadeye, and that's fight 1 again for the Gladiators here. 30 seconds remain for the Shock to finish the match.
I don't know how they're going to do this. The Gladiators, they do have their own Transcendence. Sleepy with his own, but where is Baby Bay going to be able to use this Deadeye? I mean, maybe zone players out here
Not
on
at all,
payload,
in fact.
but it doesn't look like it as. Looks like they're trying to get control of this high ground where they were going to use the Deadeye, and Surefour's up there waiting for Baby Bay.
They're not going to let them get Baby Bay back. They're going to try and camp Dak here, at least prevent him from getting the resurrect. Asher doesn't connect the pulse bomb, but it was still a good deterrent from the Mercy getting close. Asher's recall is forced, so he drops straight in front of Nomi, who just gives him easy free damage. Double Transcendence in over the fight here, and Bishu is looking for his next opportunity to get involved, and Baby Bay's just returning to the fight. Bishu needs to back away here, self-destructing over the top, which means Remix needs to try and take some shade, and Shawfor, he goes down. The Gladiators now missing one of their main DPS players, and it's just the 2 tanks for Los Angeles that are keeping the payload contested. They're stalling, and in fact, they're doing a good job. They're not taking a lot of damage at all. We're in overtime, though.
Yeah, they were able to take out Big Goose as well, so not going to be able to charge towards that Valkyrie, a D-Mech there. Onto Bishu. The Shock are now getting things going, Mitch. They're going to have a Valkyrie here towards the end of the game. Dante working towards another pulse bomb as well. To jump on with the tanks.
Gladiators now. Again, we'll want to stall this one out. Hopefully win a fight, or at least give themselves the opportunity to have 6 players here, but Remix is already down early on. Shawfor now just trying to avoid that one. Nomi falls to a pulse bomb. Both teams have got their tanks to Traces on the other side. And now Bishu's trying to pressure forward. You can see the Discord orb on him. Means he needs to be a little bit careful. He heads up. Shaz now gets a Transcendence, but it's too late to keep the mech alive. So now Bishu doesn't have that defense matrix to protect the rest of his team. Transcendence times out. Ash is trying to take cover. He's shot down. Dunta's not going to give him any room to breathe here. And Remix now facing down 5 players. It's going to be too much pressure from the Shock. And they get home.
It was one Nevix. They were able to kill Big Goose real early. The first fight they kill him, he's like turn on offense. Surefour will play Genji here, so you kind of see the effects of him in the game versus hydration. It's really just for that hit scan power, that 76 Kree specifically.
Shawfor to open on Genji here. Again, a man of many talents that leaves Asher free to just focus on being the Tracer aficionado for this particular roster, even though that was also another big choice of Shawfor's. He was known for his Tracer early on in Overwatch history, as short as it was.
Looks like the Gladiator is just trying to figure out where these members of the Shock are, then just trying to pounce on in.
Shock are very ready to drop off the balcony. I see they don't really want to fight for that.
Well, it looks like they tried to push them off of the balcony to the Gladiators, and then just kind of double back and isolate these two players on the left-hand side, which is Nomi and Dante.
Surefour now want to just sort of peek at mid to long range and get shuriken damage, get him closer to the first Dragon Blade. He'll be happy if the first real fight occurs when he has that Dragon Blade. He's not really being pressured now. He's still looking for low health targets, but the Gladiators are not going to get too aggressive here. You can see the Shock actually giving a lot of ground up. They're kind of backing away to the right-hand side if you're looking from Bishu's POV.
And just playing so far away. I feel like it's so difficult to get so much space here as Asher will take out Dante at the beginning. Most likely in a spot. Not going to see the res happen. That'll be one tick. It'll be BabyBay using attack visor here. You're really playing around this. It has to go big.
Gladiators like hugging that left wall here, trying to stay out of line of sight and forcing the Shock to commit to the point for them to get damage. Sleepy's down, brought immediately back by Dak with the resurrected Bishu's looking for Nomi here. Frantically jumps out of the way. Rocket Pack's there and Surefour's got a Dragon Blade. He'll be waiting for an opportunity to use it, but it might be time soon. Right now we can't avoid the damage that Nomi's giving him, but he's being pocketed by their healing. Of course, a Big Goose. Surefour may not have to go for this. He can just sit back. The rest of the Gladiators had numbers. And it's interesting how they force Sanfransico out of position and they just hug that wall and force him to face them, by committing to the point.
Yeah, and the position the Shock are forced to use that attack visor in is not great as well. BabyBay has to come around the corner. Yeah, Bishu with defense matrix, a lot of areas for the flankers on the side of Gladiators to just get out of harm's way. And then you also have Remix with his bubble, and the fact that BabyBay has to come so far out that he's wide in the open, so many angles to attack him. Let's see what, okay, it's going to be a Primal Rage here used by Remix at the beginning of this fight. He's going to push deep in, try and open some lanes up.
Gets cut down though. I'd say the Discord orb there would have been pretty important. Sleep would have made sure that Vincent was picked up early. Surefour's just waiting. He wasn't detected. He's looking to try and get an easy assassination, but he can see that constantly Sleepy is being pocketed by Dak, so it's very, very difficult for someone to pick him up. BabyBay actually gets the flash. Perfect. He aims the flash above Surefour's head outside of the hitbox of the reflect to guarantee that he got the stun, but he still goes down. Surefour hits a switch strike in the nick of time.
Yeah, but you bring BabyBay back into the action. So you did use your Transcendence there for the Gladiators. It was a little bit late. Now you're going to have an ultimate advantage in terms of support ults here for the Shock. You can get a little bit more aggressive to try and hold them in the street because you didn't really do a good job of holding them on point A. I mean, they took it relatively quickly, so...
So you can see it's incremental, tiny increments that Payload is just scooting forward as the Gladiators are trying to, both get some information on where the Shock is set up and try and make some progress here. They don't want to feed ultimate percentage. They don't want to start a fight unless they're ready to commit to themselves. So again, this might be the opportunity for them to go in here. We can hear that Valkyrie being used by Big Goose there, but I'm not Surefour already. He'll be brought back up, and Big Goose has to give up his life to the Deadeye and BabyBay in order to get Surefour back on his feet. Asher though, out towards the side, close to a pulse bomb here. But he knows he's being pursued himself. It looks like Dante's out for blood, and Asher now needs to back away. He's not even looking at his assailant. He knows who's behind him. I don't know if he's going to be able to get away. They're fighting in the top left room at the moment, and Asher looks like he can escape. But that's a pretty lukewarm fight from the Gladiators, man.
Yeah, and it's Surefour's just trying to dive BabyBay in the back, but BabyBay right now getting the best of him, and then it's forcing the Valkyrie out from Big Goose, and then he gets hit with that Deadeye, and then BabyBay is able to take Surefour out again. So dedicated a lot of resources to try and get BabyBay if you're the Gladiators. Didn't work out. Be Sleepy who picks up Shaz from a distance. That'll for Big Goose to use his res on the Shaz, but you lose Remix here in the beginning. Not looking good again here for the Gladiators.
Big Goose already used his Valkyrie in the prior fight, so Sanfransico have two support ultimates they can just hold on to until they're ready to use them. It's a huge advantage for him.
And BabyBay is already built up to another Deadeye. He used it in that last real fight. This one just kind of falls apart at the beginning. For the Gladiators, Surefour will switch off of Genji and go over to McCree. So a sign is that you're not able to really get in the back. Because look, I mean, BabyBay, he's getting pocketed by Dak. You have Sleepy right there as well. It's basically like a 3v1 when you dive in as Genji.
Not the kind of scenario that Surefour would like to walk into. Oh, there it is! From downtown, isn't it? BabyBay taken down by Shaz. Still able to be resurrected though. He's in a very safe position, but Dak's forcing to take a lot of damage as a result. He does get the resurrect, but I believe it was the Transcendence that had to be used to keep the Mercy alive, to keep BabyBay back on the field. And now Nomi's got some work to do. Pressured back, has already lost about 60% of his HP just using the Primal Rage. And there's a moment, a breath taken here for the Sanfransico Shock. Now they're going to come forward again. They've got the resurrect, they've got the healing back on towards Nomi, crucially.
It just shows you how much the Shock rely on BabyBay. They end up using their Transcendence and Valkyrie trying to keep him up. See a self-destruct from Nevix goes up in the sky as the Shock just trying to hold on here. stall for any amount of time to stop the payload from taking this second checkpoint, but
Got it.
it's not enough. The Gladiators will eventually take it, but look, they use Valkyrie, Transcendence, they had Nomi jump back, use a bubble, put it on top of Baby just to try and bring one player back into the fight.
Sanfransico, I think your strategy is kind of quite clear to us. Shaz again gets Baby at the start of the fight. This is how you unravel the shock, or at least that's how they've been doing it. And of course, Dak has to resurrect him. The McCree's still here, but the Gladiators know exactly where the weak spot on the shock is.
Dande can make a difference here if you connect with a pulse bomb on Shaz, maybe force out a Transcendence a little bit early. That would be huge. Needs to make this pulse bomb worthwhile, as it's going to be Big Goose using Valkyrie to open things up.
Baby is down, the gunslinger is forward, and now Asher has a bit more freedom in the backline. He doesn't have to worry about flashes or the other tracer for that matter. Now we can just set about dismantling the big, bulky bodies of the tanks on the side of the Sanfransico shock, and he'll do just that. Real momentum starting to get built up here with the Los Angeles Gladiators. There's probably just one fight left for the shock to defend. Surefour has a Deadeye, and it's a Transcendence for Shaz, who's been massive in the last couple minutes.
Yeah, Surefour is going to sit up in that high ground all the way in the back. Probably use this Deadeye through the line of sight of these trees here. So it'll be Bishu using the self-destruct, Deadeyes from both sides.
That's a real standoff, by the way. Not just a half one, but it looks like neither McCree gets the Deadeye kill. Nomi's been brought back into the fight, and Shaz has Transcendence. This could get forced out of him if he gets pressured any harder, and it does. Dante into the backline of the Gladiators, provoked the use of that ultimate from Shaz, but it's been enough to keep the Gladiators topped up for the time being. As soon as Nevis goes down, he's brought back, but now Babyface here, and he's dealt with Asher.
I was going to say, the shock should be able to hold on here, because Nomi uses Primal Rage, knocking players back. Just so much HP for the Gladiators to get through. Now, see Nomi just trying to push these players even further back, maybe pick up another kill. Baby and Surefour both getting close to more Deadeyes. As we see Baby with his, Surefour will get his in this next fight as well. Just what angle do they decide to take? You know, Baby can, with his Deadeye, can just block off a ton of area. They're trying to get back towards that payload.
Would you be calling that a zoning ult, Matt?
It would be called a zoning ult, yes, it would be.
We'll see if that's going to be the case. I feel like someone like Baby would like to get mad kills with it, but that might not be an option.
Mad kills.
Mad kills, fam.
You get on me for saying he's denying area, and you say mad kills.
22 seconds remain in the round, and Surefour has his Deadeye ready to go. Again, it's going to be another one of those standoffs. Stealing nerves, it's Shaz to go down early. It's going to, of course, be an instant resurrection. The Shocker trying to capitalize on this fact. Deadeye claims Shaz again. I don't think he's going to get brought back another time. It's going to be Baby though, getting revived, of course, after Bishu jumps on him there, and Surefour's trying to keep Dante at arm's length. It's a Transcendence here for the shock in over the fight. We're going to be in overtime in just a second. Bishu dropping down, got D-suited, now being removed from the fight. Baby with his second of the last two. Surefour now can't get too close to the payload, especially with the self-destruct dropped in on top, and Remix is down. Dante's getting it up now. Big Goose falling to the McCree. The Sanfransico shock have sprung for the trap. Has revealed a victory for them on this map. And the McCree battles, well, something to remember for sure.
Well, in the McCree battle, these players play each other basically have the comp too, right? I mean, Hydration can play Junkrat. We really don't see, you know, Bishu play Roadhog here, so kind of have a little bit of idea what to expect from the Gladiators. We'll see how the shot comes out and plays. They all actually run, okay, so they're going to use Sombra on offense as more of a secondary support. Build up towards EMP, use it on the point. The Gladiators are going to have Sombra, you know, primarily as the DPS. And
that's not good.
Gets hit. Okay, so this health pack's already hacked. So as soon as he comes around the corner, knows that there's going to be a Sombra on the other team. What do? Do you stay with a Sombra of your own? Because all the health packs, obviously, the defense spawns a little bit closer to it, going to be controlled by Surefour.
You can't hack health and there's already hacked by another Sombra, so we need to wait for that to time out. You need to wait for their hack to sort of, you know, finish its duration. So we'll have to see what Sleepy chooses to do. Well, for now, he's just going to head back to spawn, I suppose. Dante's also collapsed. Baby pressuring the point, doesn't quite have a full tick and won't have it here, especially with two tanks staring at him forebodingly. The Shock are going to back up.
He has built up towards the Dragon Blade a pretty considerable amount, you know, up to like 70%, 80% now. Nomi just knows the Remix don't see him. He's standing right there up on the bridge of the open, but anyway, Nomi's up here on the high ground. They're trying to push in towards the point. And neither Sombra's really done a tremendous job of building up towards that EMP just yet, because the fight's been so spread out. Not really an opportunity to really kind of farm those health packs. Here's going to be Melee with a Dragon Blade early.
Oh, Baby goes into the instant reflect for the extra damage, but it's not going to work out. Hydration was the first to respond and remove the Genji from the picture. Sleepy is actually going to be able to find a kill on towards Big Goose here, and it won't give him his EMP, but it gives him a decent position here. They've got to come to him. He can get an early hack. Well, there's no point hacking Bishu right now, but he can just spray him down with that Uzi. Then he backs away again. Another unsuccessful fight for the shock, but still now, Sleepy goes back and gets that health pack back.
He can get control of the health pack. You can come back in here with a shock. Baby base switches to 76. Another point. May go over to the shock here. It's going to be the Riptide that comes in from Hydration. Remix jumping in towards the point as well.
Oh, there we go. Riptide finds his target on towards Nomi here. And the Shock are kind of happy just getting incremental results here. Just getting a tick at a time and waiting until they've got 6 players. Hydration catches Dante though out. Who's hiding in the corner as an easy pick for the splash damage of the Raft.
And if Dante doesn't die there, they're going to use Valkyrie and invest in this fight and get a shot because they actually got Doc to res Nomi back up, and then as soon as they res Nomi, he's about to get Valkyrie, and then Dante falls. So don't end up using Valk, have it for this next fight. Both teams their Valkyrie, both teams with EMP.
That's going to be super interesting, right?
I mean,
whoever gets the first EMP, provided they get the other Sombra, should come out on top.
Well, it'll be a mind game, right? Because the Shock can't really play for the point here because it's not going to create an area where Sleepy is going to be able to get his off. That's great from the Shock. They went in deep, then got the EMP.
Hydration, though, looks like he didn't get EMP'd. He had his abilities available to use, and it was enough to burst Nivix down as he was trying to access the back line. Now Nivix gets forced back, and Baby Bay looks down the barrel of a very angry Simeon, who just pops a bubble on top of him. Shawfall, though, looks like he still has his EMP, and the Shock have made minimal progress. Bishu desuited is something. Baby Bay with a tactical visor. The timing is good because there's no deeper in play here for the Gladiators. Easy damage. No, the EMP comes in, but Baby Bay's not able to find his targets here, and they're shielding up on the point. Hydration and Remix make the most of Shawfall, preventing the Shock to use their abilities, and that looks like an easy wipe here. Even though Nomi's been resurrected, very close for some reason.
And what would have been ideal for the Shock is if you still had Baby Babe playing Genji and you got the same EMP you got, because Sleepy was all the way in the back. You needed to get an EMP away from the point, because if you played on the point, it gives Shortforce such an easier advantage, right? You can just throw the translocator and EMP, you never get yours off. Sleepy went into the back line, he got the EMP off, but there was just no follow-up.
We saw that. We did indeed see that. Bishu tried to cover the back line there, and the defense matrix worked out. I don't think it was hacked at the time. Now there's a Riptide here for Hydration. This could be a rough fight for the Shock if they switch over towards the Ana. They've given up on the Sombra approach, and Dak's already taken down, already lacking their mercy with only 9 seconds left in the round. It's just one by one they're falling here. Hydration. And they must be dominators because the Gladiators have got the number of the Shock, there's no doubt about it. Baby Bay dropping in, concussive by and thrown immediately as Nomi gets to the point. So he goes to half HP. The Riptide just thrown in this direction, and that's going to be it. Once again, the Shock failed to launch here on the Lunar Colony, Matt. This seems to be a uniquely personal issue for them on this map.
Yeah,
Mimics are prevented from diving at all.
So let's see what the Gladiators decide to do. This is the team we see them run, quad tank with this lineup, and they're actually going to use. So they're going to throw a little bit of a wrench in here. Maybe they know that the Gladiators, they run this comp all the time with the quad tanks. The Shock know that, and to throw things off a little bit, you run Doomfist.
Okay, I mean, again, a lot of these tanks are going to get thrown around quite a bit. Doomfist has incredible mobility. We saw what Effect was able to do with him on, Temple of Anubis last week. That was fantastic. But
and Doomfist is great on this initial point A because there's so many close-in walls and areas where you're able to just blow people up with that rocket punch.
Well, it can also get blown up by Junkrat grenades for the same reason. It's kind of the problem. Hydration, playing in close quarters is always a risk. He goes so deep into this one. Shaz found Baby Bay early on, so the Junkrat's now no longer an issue, but Dante responds. He's found the Doomfist, and both teams are down 1 DPS. But Bishu's managed to find his way into the bank to deal with Sleepy. Baby Bay needs to be instantly resurrected, but Bishu will take 5 with the rest of the Gladiators here.
But if you do only need one pick to unlock the point, Doomfist is a great hero to have, right? I mean, there's the pick potential that he has to just go in there, rocket punch, connect with somebody, hit a wall, take that player out is insane. His Big Goose is already built up here towards his Valkyrie. Expect him to use it.
Hydration back with the Shuriken action once again. The healing wasn't enough though. He's taken down early, but Dak and Baby Bay have already been felled. This is a huge opening for the Gladiators, and Bishu is going to open the door with a body blaster and nothing else. It's all this man needs. He's going to have a chance to reshoot in just a moment here. They need to clear the point with the self-destruct, but Nevix was already taken down with the pulse bomb while the mech was blowing up. Now it's as simple as this. Remix goes forward, he dives, and he will prevent the Shock from accessing the point. And that's going to be it. The Riptide is nothing but an explosive fanfare, a bit of decoration. That's the Gladiators on Lunar Colony.
Yeah, it's a map that the Sanfransico Shock does not excel at. And I was running primarily the Symmetra for our team. And I knew that we were not going to see her today.
Capture the objective.
Wow, you just
I don't think we're going to see. I don't know if we'll ever see Symmetra.
No, and obviously, yes, everyone, we heard the disappointed cries.
I'm sorry.
It is not the day for Symmetra. That day may be soon. We'll see. So, the San Francisco Shock take the high ground to start things off. You can see they're trying to get most of their big tanks up here and go for a little bit of a battle, but it's all about the Gladiators so far. They're winning out these damage trades. Sleepy and Dante go down first, while the Gladiators going to be more than happy for the Shock to try and front up. It's like they just get the better of them. Don't worry, there's no Dragon Blade. We're just hearing strange sounds from elsewhere.
Surefour is getting close to a Dragon Blade. No Dragon Blade just yet. That would be rather quick. He's already 80% to his blade compared to, Baby just 30%, just because the Gladiator is able to dominate that first fight.
Ash now back in over the point. Once again, not a Dragon Blade. It's okay. Again, Opportunity wants to try and build up his pulse bomb here and make his way through. As the Gladiators can control the point right now. Again, this could be a target here. Quick defense matrix thrown out in front, and there it is. Surefour this time. It's actually a Dragon Blade, guys. 2 kills already. Dak and Sleepy both falling, and he'll get a D-mech as well. Nevix now forced to do it on foot, or shanked pony as they call it up in the UK. Asher gets himself 2, and that'll be enough.
And Asher still working, has the pulse bomb to use. The Gladiators going to have both of their support ults. It'll be Dak getting close to his Valkyrie here, and Baby finally going to get his blade. So this is really the Shock's best chance, Mitch, to win one of these fights. If they don't win it here, we're going to see the Gladiators build up to like that 80-90% mark. Asher just trying to catch Dante out. Has to back up, walks right into Baby.
61% here. The Gladiators had a pulse bomb for Asher. Obviously didn't opt to go for it there. Close to 2 support ults here, and that will be the perfect buff for them to finish this round out. Surefour throws a bit of damage into the mix here, and you can see that no one's really peeling for Dak right now. In fact, they're too busy dealing with the Winston. But the Surefour on the Genji have managed to sneak into the back line and do damage. They eventually address that issue, though, and it looks as if the Gladiators now might have to try and return some players. So the fight with Dak's done that. Dante's back, and it will be the Shock now to take control for the first time in the round, and have some big ultimates to hold on to.
Well, they hold on to all of their ultimates, as they will swing the point in their favor. They'll hold on to both support ults, their Dragon Blade as well. Just Nomi using the Primal Rage in the last fight. This is going to be a huge fight. So many ultimates on both sides. Says, but it's really looking at those support ults, like how do you layer them to get the maximum value?
Maybe you don't. Maybe you just save them for subsequent fights and just try and stretch them out. Ration the support ultimates to keep yourselves in control of the point. Dante tried to go for the finish on Remix there, but it seems as if Remix jumped in a little bit undefended there. Bishu ran out of defense matrix to keep the Winston sort of healthy in midair, and once he dropped it was an easy pickup.
Sleepy did use his Transcendence, so you got one of those ultimates out. If you are the Gladiators, you can come back into the next fight. As long as you get Valkyrie out and then you use your Transcendence against Baby's Dragon Blade, you're going to be able to use your own Dragon Blade.
You're going to use the Valk before the fight starts, Matt. This is interesting. Focusing more on the healing here that Dak can provide. You can see he's giving it to Nevix right now. Surefour's forced to back away because Nomi! Oh no, he got knocked off the edge there by Bishu and didn't have any cooldown left in his rocket
and you can't even res that either. You're in Valkyrie. Now it's going to be Big Goose using his Valkyrie, and Surefour's going to pop off for a big blade here.
Yeah, easy done. Straight to the back line. And the Sushi Chef now has left his mark on the San Francisco Shock. It'll be a chance for the Gladiators here to comfortably come back in. Surefour adds a 4th to his brace of kills with the 1 Dragon Blade. And we talked about that hydration being the Genji here. Surefour's turning up.
And you've been able to hold on to your Transcendence to withstand Baby Bay's Dragon Blade. It's going to be desperation to be getting on near the end. Oh,
Baby Bay had the Dragon Blade. He pulled it out. But he got cut down, no chance to use that. That's devastating here for the Shock, and Remix is just going to hold the door. He even has a Primal Rage here to jump onto the supports with, and it's just that easy. Pulse bomb in towards Nevix, 99 to 66%. Nomi with futility, flailing the fist. Unfortunately, it's just him sitting up on the point, and no one's even really paying him attention. Then he gets knocked down the hole. Comes back up, and he's the last man on the point. Tough to stall this one out, and it's not going to happen. The Los Angeles Gladiators make a strong statement here in that first round. One of these Dragon Blades.
That early Valkyrie that comes out from the San Francisco Shock, there has to be, maybe just
this fight. So that's hard. Losing an unresable player when using Valkyrie, it's going to throw your whole plan out the window.
And it's brutal for the Shock because you used your Transcendence in the previous fight. So as soon as that, you didn't really have to do much of the Gladiators to wait that Valkyrie out, then use your blade.
It feels bad, man, here for the Shock. A chance to recover now as we head into round number 2. Garden time. Sleepy's already resurrected Baby Bay in this map. Again, that player, expected to do so much for the Shock. Now taking a rocket too. Oh, he's just alive. Sleepy almost eats another one for Surefour. Again, Baby Bay and Surefour, 2 similar players with similar hero pools here. What a matchup.
I tell you what, though, Surefour has had a tremendous series. I mean, Baby Bay has definitely shown he's one of the better DPS players in the league, and Surefour playing him very close.
Yeah, it's good to see Shawford now as well play such a high variety of heroes. Unfortunately, Shawford spent so much time trying to avoid Baby Bay. He does hit the direct rocket, but the rest of his team has been pretty well decimated on the ground floor. He will drop and accept his fate. He knows the fight's done.
It'll be the Shock in control of the point first. Dak will be able to play Lucio. That's kind of a big thing here for the Shock. It's a hero that he feels more comfortable on.
You'd love to see it, don't you?
Yeah, and then Sleepy will play Mercy here for the Shock as we'll see what they're able to get. Now that you have control of the point, right? It's how do you play it with the Pharah versus the opposing Pharah, right?
Well,
not anymore, yeah.
Pick Baby Bay off at long range and start the fight. I don't think there's any room for a resurrect there from Sleepy. I think it's too dangerous for him to try and get Baby Bay back on his feet. We'll see if that's going to be the case, but Shawford just sprays down. It's not confetti. Big old barrage there to deal with Nomi. Nevix drops down. You can see just how quickly he gets chunked down. Kind of happens when you're in a 1v6 situation, though. And it'll be the Gladiators quickly regain control.
That was quick. You saw Shurpur was able to pick Baby Bay out of the sky, then Asher gets another pick as these Pharahs just exchanging rockets and cross-map with each other. It's like, how great is the Pharah play we've seen from a lot of players in the Overwatch League over the last few weeks? I mean, Dream Casper, we've seen Fleta do some amazing things with these two in this matchup.
Oh, Dak actually gets the full clip with a bit of help there from his tank line. Remix had the extra damage there. And now Asher can drop a pulse bomb on whoever he may wish. He'll probably recall while the self-destruct occurs, so he's not affected by the explosion. But the rest of his team kind of struggling a bit. They've lost Shaz. Sleepy's going to resurrect, so it's a player switch of two. Now Shawford got some room. He needs to deal with Baby Bay. Neither of these guys have their mercies right now. It's just two Pharahs against each other, but Nevix decides to interrupt the gentleman's duel there. Perhaps it was a grudge match, but he doesn't care.
And Shaz is coming in with Valkyrie, so he'll be able to Remix and Big Goose back into the fight. They're going to have the sound barrier as well, do the Gladiators. The sound barrier comes out from the side of the Sanfransico Shock.
But it's run out, and they need that health, but they don't have it anymore. Baby Bay and Nevix are going to fall. Shaz actually finds the kill on Baby Bay, and that's going to be a resurrect here for Sleepy. But Shawford is still at large, still in the sky, looking to claim aerial superiority, and now Baby Bay wants to challenge that. And Shawford doesn't really fancy it at this stage. Perhaps his mercy's a little bit busy or not there. Either way, one shot, two shot, one more would get the job done, but Baby Bay's forced away. He realizes that discretion here is going to be the better part of Valor before he returns to the fight. But this is a long fight, Matt, and the Gladiators have been in control. They're getting more percentage as time goes on.
Yeah, it's extremely drawn out here. Not ideal for the Sanfransico Shock. They're just having to invest ultimates into this fight. Sleepy trying to go for a res on the point. He'll get taken out by Big Goose. Yes, gets interrupted. Still the point in possession to the LA Gladiators here.
This stall is so big, it's huge, and Dunton needs to cut down Asher. The Sanfransico Shock need to remove any Gladiators' presence from the point, but it's taken them so long, and now the Barons comes in. No, he's going to get eaten up by that one. Again, Nevich protects his team for the rest of it with the defense matrix, and Baby Bay swings through as if on a vine like Tarzan to save them. Shawford is shot out of the sky, and Shaz is not far behind. It's 98-47.
Yeah, Baby Bay switches off of Pharah. We'll go over to McCree right now, in terms of the game. With both these players playing Pharah, Shurpur is up to 9,600 damage. Baby Bay sitting at he just got over 6K now, so 3,000 more damage from Shurpur playing the Pharah.
Shawford instantly switching here, seeing the McCree come through. No surprises there, I'm sure. Baby Bay now as well knows he needs to respect and back away a little bit here. Goes for a flash, but I don't think Asher was actually hunting him at the time, and he doesn't manage to get him. Shaz is low, he needs to keep himself very scarce now, but Baby Bay's sidelines are limited. It doesn't seem to matter though. Shawford gets picked out of the periphery like a needle in a haystack, and Baby Bay's looking for more. 80% towards his next Deadeye, and he's got a comfortable amount of healing and peel available to him. This is the last fight of the round coming up.
And Sleepy and Valkyrie was able to pick Shaz off. He's trying to just hide, maybe use a Valkyrie of their own for the Gladiators. The Shock will just have their sound barrier. You have a Deadeye here. And then on the side of the Gladiators, you will have Valkyrie, you will have sound barrier. See if Shurpur can build up towards a blade as well.
The diving Baby Bay, they don't need to get rid of him. He's the centerpiece of his team, and every tank is looking for him. But now he's going to come in with a Deadeye. He hits the ground, but his defense matrix sees some barriers in front of him. He doesn't get anything, and Asher finds the double. The Mercy's down. That's the opening the Gladiators were looking to find, and now they can exploit it. No resurrect potential for the Sanfransico Shock, and Shawford can have a field day. Knows there's a Lucio off towards his right side, but he'd love to get rid of Dunter. No, he's caught out by the self-destruct here from Nevix. Over the top is the man. The Swede now getting his blood up, a little bit of bloodlust and rage to pressure in, but Dunter sees that most of his foes have a sound barrier. It's hard to get any pickoffs, and Shawford's back in the fight though. It's Dragon Blade time. Baby Bay forced to get out. He's being healed, but it's not enough healing at all. No matter what Shaz did, he was going to fall there. The Dragon Blade found its mark, and that's it. Map 3 Gladiators.
able to build up from 30% all the way to a Dragon Blade in that final fight. They needed to res him once, and the sound barrier comes in. It fell off the side, and Asher playing the Widowmaker probably thought he had an extra charge of his grappling hook. Didn't have it in his back pocket. The Shock will play just a triple tank with Dante playing Roadhog, Nomi playing Orisa, Nevix will play Diva. He is very low at the beginning of the game. Probably takes a shot from Asher.
Here.
No, Baby play Widow.
Same for both setups here. Similar compositions. No Widowmaker on the attacking side. Dante caught, just eats a bit of damage. Now, if you're Hydration, you should have a good idea of the target you caught with the trap, given the fact you didn't kill your target from the explosion of the mine.
Baby Bay picks him off that far right-hand side, and then he knows that they're going to go for the res, tries to push a little bit forward. Good help from Bishu there to just boot him out of the way.
Baby Bay now as well looking to try and wrap around the side here, put easy damage into Shaz. Shaz is now pinned for the moment. If he wants to try and get out, he needs to wait until his take a breather cooldown is available. And you can see that Nevix going in just to try and charge into the Gladiators players, put them out to the open a bit. Asher getting mad free damage here on towards Nomi.
Yeah, he goes all the way around on that far side. Oh! Gets pretty much right to the spawn. Another kill from Asher here, playing Widow.
Okay, Dak, he wants it.
Okay. But man, the shots out of Asher there were sick. Goes on the flank. And Nomi's just standing there, just helps it in the back of the head with bullets.
Yeah, I mean, how anticlimactic would that have been though if Asher gets killed by Dak there? I think that's why he saved some face. Mercy even has a voice line that goes, you might not want to tell your friends about that when you get killed by it. So I would agree. You know, we want to avoid that. It's a Widow player. Oh, Hog's here for Shaz though. Oh, he just hit Dante as well. The shield's gone down. He's hit him with the left click, and now the Valkyrie's going to be in play. Dak brings Dante up immediately in the shot, continuing to try and apply pressure. Good hook. Shaz gets caught out, but goes for the take a breather now as well. Mitigating damage and getting the health back. Time for the whole hog. Is he going to have enough peel and protection? He does. Remix bangs his shield down in front of him, so Shaz can actually get the whole hog devastation without taking too much damage in response. But Remix doesn't get to cover in time. Nevix also gets a D-shield onto his Bishu, and Asher is being left upon by Nevix as Goose tries to keep him alive desperately.
Yeah, they don't have another res to bring Remix back in the fight, which would have been huge because he has a supercharger. Could have used it right now as Nomi drops his for the Sanfransico Shock. A few kills going in favor of the Shock as it's just going to be Asher alive.
Okay.
He's got two, but they do get that first checkpoint.
Yeah, again. Yeah, the Shock are going to be spawning very close to the payload here, so Widow picks don't mean a lot. Asher probably allowed himself to be eliminated there by Nomi, so he'd spawn back with the rest of his team. Reasonable, I feel. And he switched off the Widow to the Tracer now, so I like this. The Gladiator switched to full dive on this second stage.
This is what worked against Baby Bay on map number 1. They were trying to get him off of that Widowmaker. They went over to McCree. What worked? They just dove it. Just got really aggressive in that backline. The only difference is that you had Surecore playing the Genji, not Hydration.
Bishu gets hooked in here, desuited. Well, they have multiple Genji options here, so not too much of a problem for the Gladiators. But the dive seems to have been foiled, at least for the most part now, as Big Goose just narrowly avoids getting put on the Butcher's hook. But Baby Bay's getting picked, so he's not being pressured much at all. The Gladiators seem to be in disarray, and the Sanfransico Shock are just picking up easy kills, and they're going to continue to press forward on the payload. A very unsuccessful start to the second stage for the defenders.
You may get one more fight here, though, if you're the Gladiators, and you're going to get close to a Valkyrie. You're going to get close to a Dragon Blade here. It's going to be the whole hog on the table for the Sanfransico Shock, as it looks like the Gladiators
with an apple
getting ready to engage.
Welcome to the scrapyard. We don't all sound like that, by the way, but Baby Bay takes a big step back. He is left upon, and of course the grappling hook gives him the opportunity to evade that kind of pressure up front. The front load of damage that the Gladiators have is definitely impressive. Now the Dragon Blade coming in. Tough to escape from this one, and Hydration gets caught away from Baby Bay. It drops though, right onto the cutting edge of the blade, and just kind of gets eaten up. But Hydration only gets the one kill for the channel of the blade, despite being deep in enemy territory. Now he has to back away and try and reflect frantically.
Oh, they're going to engage pretty hard, though. They do have a Transcendence here, the Gladiators. They're pushing on in. Nevix gets hit. Nevix hits Hydration there with a self-destruct, and it's going to be Nomi now dropping his supercharger as the Shock trying to turn this in their favor.
You can see there's a lot of messy fighting happening inside. Remix is able to get out alive, though, and tries to use a couple of, fist swings there to knock people around. He's fallen to Baby though, and the Shock continue to apply the pressure. Ever closer to the point, they give it Shaz just picks up Sleepy. He's going to take more than that though, I'll be honest with you. Shield drop down, Nomi now just able to gun Shaz down as he tries to approach and stall things out. Big Goose goes for the Caduceus Blaster. He's been successful with it in the past, mind you, but gets very little for it. And that'll be it. Second checkpoint reach for the Shock, and still a good amount of time in the bank, Matt.
Yeah, the Gladiators invested a ton into that fight. A Dragon Blade, Valkyrie, Transcendence, Primal Rage. Nevix picking up that one kill with the self-destruct. Then Nomi dropping the Supercharger, adding that extra damage. Baby Bay was able to pick up some nice kills with the Widowmaker. He switches off of Widow towards this end of the game, a lot like what we saw in Navani. He will go over to McCree.
Hydration's looking for something right now. We dove deep into the backline, is somehow still alive. That's a big self-destruct. Dak and Baby Bay always seem to go down together. It happened on Oasis, and it's happened now, and that has brought the Shock to a screeching halt.
Well, it's just Baby Bay in their mercy because he's getting so much pocketing, whether it be damage boost or the healing.
Well, when there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
When there's a mercy, there's Baby Bay getting pocketed.
Now that buys the Gladiators some space, right? You can have Asher just play on the payload, everybody else sit up top, just trying to bait these members of the Sanfransico Shock in.
Asher seems to be the front line purely because he can reset his health total, get out.
I mean, they'll just throw an orb on him and just have him dance around here. He's not an easy target.
He's keeping it stalled out, he's hard to hit, but now the Shock are trying to go past him. They're going to circumvent Asher and jump on the main core of the Gladiators. But the Gladiators are going to dive in response. Hydration's waiting for this Transcendence and timeout, and then it's going to be go time. I'm hearing a deadline being charged somewhere? No, it was Big Goose to go down to Baby Bay, should I say. McCree present on the field. Maybe he was in the background again, not sure. Dragon Blade won't be used here for Hydration, he realized he was done.
But you did get the Sanfransico Shock to use their support ultimates. You will have a Valkyrie Dragon Blade combination, and maybe not as strong as, let's say Shaz with the Transcendence and Dragon Blade, but you will have that big support ult, a lot of healing from Big Goose, the combo with the Dragon Blade here for the Gladiators. Nothing for the Shock to fight this.
Yeah, a pulse bomb, perhaps. That could easily be rezzed out. Dante's probably just trying to chunk down tanks for now. It's time for the Dragon Blade here. Hydration needs to make this one work. He has to connect. This is going to keep the Gladiators in this game on defense. He does find Sleepy. He needs to forge ahead and use a Swift Strike to get the kill, but he gets it regardless. However, it means he doesn't have it refunded. And now he'll need to wait. But he's fine. The rest of the Gladiators looking comfortable, and they'll keep Nevix alive a little bit longer. Perhaps to study how it is that Nevix can get so much done in his life when he says so little.
And you thought that's what the Gladiators were going to do. Shaz will finish off Nevix, so he'll go back to spawn. You thought that's what the Gladiators were going to do, combo the Valkyrie with the Dragon Blade, but knowing there were no support ults on the side of the Shock, did you need to use the Valkyrie there to combo with it? Because now you'd like to have your own Valkyrie against Baby Bay's Dragon Blade coming on through.
And this is a good time to be Baby Bay right now. Remix can try and displace him with Primal Rage and make it harder for him to access his intended target, but that's just down. It's traded out though, Sleepy's already fallen. Dragon Blade here, that's the Baby Bay Dragon Blade we're looking for. He's looking for Hydration. Both of them are reflecting. Baby Bay's low. One more Strip Strike would have done it, but Hydration is cut down. He eventually falls. Remix lands on top, gets the damage for the rocket jump here, and now he's going to return to the payload. It's a bit of a tank buster here. And the 2v2 now being interrupted. Nevix self-destructing, but Asher finds the pulse bomb kill in there. It's a lot of explosions. That's classic Overwatch for you, but we're in overtime. Dunter's going to try and get onto the payload, but it's really just him for the time being. You can see off to your left, Baby Bay and Dak are going to join. Dunter somehow has stayed alive, and that's a good sign, but the rest of the Gladiators spawn a little bit closer, and now they're there to heal. Up in the air is Big Goose. You can see Primal Rage for Nomi trying to push him back.
However, they let Dante stay alive for this long on the payload. Transcendence going to come out here for the Gladiators. They're going to have their Valkyrie again. It's going to be both support ults here coming online for the Shock. There's the Transcendence, keeping everybody up until Dak and Valkyrie.
Hydration gets pushed forward! Again, Dak and Baby Bay falling down! You know they're going to be sat so close to each other that it's so easy to splash damage across and get the two of them. That's what the Gladiators were looking for. That closes the book on that attack from the Shock.
They use the Transcendent. Not enough time to get a use out of it. Hydration just slices through. Going all the way, completing the map. Just players learning how to complete the map. So the Shock definitely not out of it.
And it's the different takes that teams now have on this map as well. We're seeing a couple different picks thrown in here. You're going to take Hanzo Widow. You're going to take Hanzo Widow Bastion like the Gladiators. You're going to go, fall to the floor with an Orisa here to protect them.
So we have not seen, the Bastion out of every team recently. This time we will see it out of the Gladiators. They'll go triple tank, Bastion, with Asher playing Widowmaker, just trying to get some picks.
This is pretty defensive positioning from the Shock as well. They've completely backed away from this. Maybe worried they don't have the tech to deal with this. They've lost Stunter as well.
And it's not in a resible position, and Hydration is just going to sit on the body, and that's going to be huge. You're not going to have that extra damage to break down this Orisa barrier.
Camping the corpse of the Junkrat here. Shaz gets hooked in, but takes no damage there for whatever reason.
Bishu with the defense matrix.
Great work for Bishu to defend his Bastion. Glad you caught it, Matt, and now Hydration's going to come forward. Looking for Nomi. Gen can just take a breather, absorb damage for days. That barrier's eventually going to break down, and the Gladiators have a chance to regroup behind the payload. That's a very good concussive fire, but Shaz is set up now in a static position. Chunk away the tanks, and it's easy as that.
If there was one player the Shock couldn't lose on defense early, it was probably done.
Yeah. And he came back.
That Junkrat.
He comes back, he hits a fat concussive mine. Everyone goes in all different directions, but it was too late by then. And that'll be the first checkpoint here coming up for the Gladiators. Time so far has been good.
The Gladiators switch off of this. We usually see when teams start to get rolling with the Bastion, them kind of steamroll through the map. Maybe they could have rode this out a little bit longer, because Sleepy just switches over to Zen, so you're not really giving up a ton of ult to him if you stay on Bastion for another maybe minute or so.
Captain Planet, you've used my Dante's Inferno one-liner on a stat. For real, dude? I can't use that anymore, thanks. A good point, though, he does lead, performance on Junkrat on this particular map. So losing him, the best performing player in the league on Junkertown on Junkrat, that hurts.
We'll use a Riptire here. Trying to pick up the Valkyrie Mercy,
but we got it!
Goose. That's a big pick. Not going to be able to use the reses or that Mercy ultimate anymore. The Gladiators, this is a wash of a fight.
Now, Bishu trying to get away with his mech intact. He actually manages to do that. That's quite big. Asher going down. So now you'll see the Shock push forward here. They can disengage from this, but they do want to just get an early pick. Oh, respect the Genji. And then try and, and they can back away. Just try and bleed some time up the clock here is the idea.
And yeah, Devix here, giving him the defense matrix so he can get those easy shots, not take more damage. Nomi was dropping in barriers as well. It'll be a self-destruct from Bishu that goes in deep, connects with Sleepy.
Okay, so Bishu trades himself out to get rid of the Zenyatta, but guess what? Mercy gonna bring back Zen. And the Gladiators have lost another fight almost before it started there, with Big Goose getting blown into bite-sized chunks. And now we have the reset once more. Shaz close to the Transcendence, but this is classic Baby Bay, by the way. This guy would believe he'd take on the whole world if you gave him an inch. Again, he's feeling confident here, it's clear to see. Don't know why, but he is confident.
So starting to hit some shots on the Widowmaker, that's why.
That's it, starting to pop off.
Sleepy getting close to a Transcendence. Transcendence available for the Gladiators. It's Asher, though, working around this bottom side. Maybe he can get a pulse bomb up top. It's a really interesting position. You see where Nomi is? She's not preventing the payload to move on forward.
Super weird, bro.
Yeah.
How annoying. Asher says, look, I'm going to commit a pulse bomb to dealing with this. Enough of this shenanigans. And then Nevix finds himself all on his own, surrounded by a sea of purple, and that's not the last thing you want to see.
And he's not even in a position to get res there, Nomi.
Nope, not
I
happening.
mean, he's able to contest the payload and prevent it from moving forward, but the Hydration now with this Dragon Blade on the offensive side. They have Dragon Blade plus their support ults. Be a huge combination coming in. Do the Shock want to invest into this, though? That's the bigger question.
Remix gets more than he bargained for when he dropped in here, but he's looking for his Zenyatta. Oh, Sleepy, no! Gets completely broken into pieces now. And Remix is not done yet. Dante tries to go for a Riptire, but Remix is able to find him. It didn't seem fair with the way he was attacking him while he was busy channeling, but now the Transcendence gets applied. Sleepy was brought back. Hydration has to wait for his chance to use the Dragon Blade here. It can't be yet. It might be now, though. He gets in there. Sleepy's down for the second time. He reflects the shot. Instead of using the slash, he makes sure the Zenyatta can't kill him and gives him extra damage. Nicely done for the Gladiators. Now, their final task remains. Finish the map in 3 minutes and 33 seconds. And that will be a 3-1 victory for LA.
It's a costly fight on both sides, but the Gladiators come out on top. Dak will get his Valkyrie sooner than Big Goose coming up here. And some changes that come in from the Shock. Baby Bay will play Genji, so going to get extremely aggressive. No, they can't give up too much space here to the Gladiators.
Issue now, trying to see where the Shock is set up. He's ready to peel. He's going to make sure he tries and keeps his supports alive. And now that the Shock have committed to the fight, he wants to go for a self-destruct to punish them. Perhaps he thought they might be out of position. It doesn't matter though, because Ash has been able to find them and and reduce them to his namesake. Now, of course, Sleepy again under scrutiny, and guess who's protecting Asher? That's right, Bishu's there! Nothing you can do about that as a Zen when the enemy trace is being protected.
So Bishu launches his self-destruct and it actually splits the shock up. Nomi and Baby Bay are still on the cart. Dak, Sleepy, and Dante get pushed all the way around the corner. That allows them to get the 2 early picks and then stagger the remaining 3 players.
Oh man, I think this is over already. That's it! The Gladiators had it so well planned out, coordinated, crisp, clean, lock for the hometown heroes.